everybody, welcome to Small Cap Recap. Today, I wanted to let you know I'm doing it a little bit different today. I actually just filmed Midnight Madness for Matthew Monaco. It's part of the daily income trader program we have here at StocksToTrade. And it was kind of similar to Small Cap Recap that I normally do, but a little bit more in depth, focused on kind of my top watches and really only on those, versus recapping everything and giving out a really detailed game plan for a couple of stocks. So I decided let's do that for Small Cap Recap today. I'm filling in, and I think it would just be good to get, a little insight as to what it's like to be a part of DIT, what you're getting. This is something you get every single day of Midnight Madness in particular, normally from Matt Monaco. So many other things. Obviously, I'm in Small Cap Rockets, Monday through Thursday. One of the many, but I want to just kind of show you what it's like to be a part of DIT. So hopefully you enjoy it. There's information down in the description below for how you can join DIT if you like this and want more of the content. So without further ado, thank you for joining, and let's dig on into the charts.
What is going on, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to Midnight Madness. I'm taking place again for Monaco today. So bear with me, as I unfortunately don't really have a lot to go over today in terms of watches for next week. But that being said, I do think we have a couple really interesting ones kind of coming up here. So I want to go ahead and just kind of go through my game plan for these three stocks that I think, they might not necessarily... Oh, rats. Didn't mean to replace. That I think just might be really good watches moving forward here into the next couple of days and maybe week or so. And, there's no telling, obviously, if they will all pan out. But I can kind of show you what I'm thinking of and just where I see this maybe potentially going. So today we had AXLA running really strong. And I want to actually start this off by saying that I wasn't really in front of my screens much today. I got just smoked the last few days, and it was all my own fault trying to dip by VFS, especially this morning. I took it with some size on this dip. We had a nice gap up for what I thought was going to be a first green day, but alas, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green days straight, even after yesterday's exhaustion. So I took the day off today. After that early morning loss, I was just frustrated. So there might be some other movers that might have something, but there are a couple that I think have been really strong and I think are really worth keeping an eye on here. And that's going to be Axla, AXLA, CGC, and TTOO. I'm sure you've seen a couple of these over the past few days. But anyways, like I was saying, let's start with AXLA because this actually started its run yesterday, and it started the consolidation before that, but it had a really nice breakout yesterday and really nice continuation today. So I want to go through a number of different game plans that I see on this. So let's break down into like a 5-day. We'll start off with just a 1 minute. And now we'll just take a look here on the interior. Sorry, I've been building an RV, and I don't know. I guess I've just been saying the word interior a lot. AXLA. Okay. So first of all, like I said, really nice, strong run. Yesterday, we had this kind of really nice perk up to the resistance level the previous day, which was the 6th. And then we just had a really nice dip and rip style move out of that consolidation daily consolidation break. Brain is jumbled today. And just a really nice consolidation into close with that after hours perk. Then we had this really just clean looking dip and rip this morning, a little bit more like the dip and rip that I like to kind of see, a longer term dip and rip where, it did dip pretty hard, right? I mean, we opened up at 65, falls down to 50 just about. But that was just such a clear, clean trend break right at VWAP 2. Oh man. This is one I do kind of wish I saw today, but like I said, I needed the day off. But really beautiful move here, and I like that we're doing kind of something a little bit opposite to what we did during this consolidation. We break out today, break over $1, and have this hard dip back. But we got to consider where it came from. Yesterday, this was trading down under 40 cents. So we need this dip, and especially after a key whole dollar break level, I don't expect it to break a dollar and then just start running to 150. It needs to kind of prove itself. So everything it's doing right now is fantastic. What I'd like to see on this on Monday would be a gap up right, maybe not even over a dollar, but if we could gap up over a dollar, that'd be nice. And then same thing, we're looking for probably a shorter term dip and rip, more along the lines of what we saw here. This is the kind of dip and rip that I don't love as much, and this didn't gap up all that much. In fact, it didn't really gap up on the day of this run, but I don't like when stocks do that. Even when they gap up, I don't like when the dip and rip is that short, but I find that the higher the gap, the more likely it is to have a quick dip and rip if it's going to run. Um, so I wouldn't expect to see a longer forming dip and rip like we did this morning. If it does gap up, I'd expect to see something short. But again, I would only want to be buying one of two ways. One, if we did get this style, just buying through high a day more or less with a starting risk on that low. And then if it breaks under, let it reset up. Or if we gap up and don't, or if I guess other way around. If we gap up and just run, unfortunately, that might be a tough trade to enter. If it just starts running without any kind of dip, it needs to at least set up some structure. The other option could be just kind of a sideways action between a dollar and where it's at now, a form of pre-market consolidation like this, but just imagine that in pre-market, and then buying the trend break if that happens during regular hours, right? If we're going sideways, getting really nice and tight, and then we break out a trend, I'd just be looking for a trend break buy with a risk on that last low here. Kind of something like that could be an option too. If we're gapping down a lot though, be careful because in that case, we might just have a first red day on our hands, in which case shorting a pop might not be the worst idea if you're a short seller. Let's go over on to CGC. Nice multi-day run here. Now, I don't really like trading cannabis stocks. I don't really like trading CGC in particular. It's a little bit slower mover, but I mean, it's a nice mover. We've ran from basically 40 cents up to a dollar over the last couple days, and I don't see any reason to see this run stopping. What I would like to see is another form of like what we saw here, this kind of third day surge. I want one of these consolidation candles, ideally on Monday. Would be really nice, not to enter, but to look for a trade potentially on Tuesday. Now, if we gap up really strong, what did we close at today? Okay, yeah, close right around 95, right around where it's at now. If this just kind of goes sideways again, I don't think it'd be unrealistic to assume that this might be able to continue its run. Now, the thing is, just based on looking at how it's moved over the last few days, we can kind of see that it's been very smooth in nearly every direction. We did have one big spike, consolidation, clean run, consolidation. Then we had that off day. Then the spike, consolidation. It's not a massive, I mean, even today's run from at the low 73 cents up to about a dollar, it wasn't a crazy move. So this is one of those ones where the trend is your friend. Either one, wait for the consolidation to happen, and a consolidation break has worked just about every single time. I mean, really, every single time. Breakout. Not really any consolidation today. Breakout. It's even here, if we go way into after hours, the consolidation breaks have worked extremely, extremely well. And so this is one of those ones where if we keep doing the same exact pattern, take advantage of it, right? But if we gap down, I wouldn't want to take a trade on it necessarily on Monday. I'd probably want to be waiting to see into Tuesday if we hold up and then maybe gap up from there, kind of like we did, right here on this day. So there are a couple options there, but I think this is a good watch into next week again, even if it's not necessarily for Monday. TTOO, on the other hand, is one that is definitely, I would imagine, not going to be a watch for Monday. But, and this might not even turn into a watch. Right now, this is technically a bearish pattern. We kind of just have a head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. But what we also have, and something not to discount, actually, maybe I can do this a bit easier. Let's go 15 day, 15 minute, and take off extended hour. And let's just see what we have. as we load. I realized I left an area to write out a plan. At this point, I have not done that. So my apologies, but we're going over it regardless. So I kind of like this trend that's forming here. Like, irregardless of how it's moving and making that head and shoulders pattern, one of my favorite, I've gone over this so many times before, and I know you get, not everyone in here goes into small cap rockets in the morning, and maybe not everyone watches my small cap recap episodes, but the best long bias pattern is a failed short pattern. And what I mean by that is right now we are trending down. We're forming a head and shoulders pattern. That's on the daily chart. This is technically a bearish stock. However, we also need to consider that we started this run. I guess let's just even call it 8 cents, 10 cents. We're holding up like 300% from lows. We're down like 50% from highs, but we're holding up 300% from lows. Let's keep that in mind. We didn't break $1, and a lot of people, I think, expected that to break $1. I think a lot of people were looking for a $1 break on this. But we're holding up at very key consolidation levels, right? I mean, if we want to take a look by resistance here, overwhelmingly, we're holding above a lot of these previous support level or previous resistance levels that are now trying to turn into support. And we're still trending. So I would want to be looking for, essentially on the daily chart, would be like this kind of trend break, a trend break through this 38 to 40 level over the next few days. And if we can do that, I would be comfortable getting in early, because one way to obviously determine a failed short pattern like a head and shoulders would be for that stock to curl over the shoulders. It's already kind of formed the shoulder, and I want to make it very clear, like, obviously this 45-cent high is a bit higher than this 41-cent high, sure, but it's very close. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's the idea that this is what we're doing. We got shoulder, head, shoulder. So a breakout over like 40 cents could really send this thing. A trend break right here could really send this. I am very bullish on TTOO if we can get through with this curl here. So what I would want to do personally, and what I'm thinking about doing if this trade does set up, is a trend break on the daily chart. I'd want to start in maybe between a third and a half size on the trend break. And if we can actually break out through 45 and really confirm this, it could just theoretically break out. That is possible, but what I'd see it to be more likely is a breakout over 45, maybe a dip back down, and then a breakout of sorts. That's what I'm saying. This probably will not be a one-day trade, and that's why I want to make it clear that this watch is not specifically for Monday. It's just in the next coming few days. I'm really just hoping that in a few days we can maybe break through this trend line if it happens to do so. So those are like my main 3 watches. And I know TTOO hasn't really run today, but Axla and CGC I think are setting up setting the stage for just some really nice multi-day runners, as did TTOO. And I think that's why I'm probably so interested now in really looking at TTOO and setting up this plan, just because the multi-day runners like CGC and like Axla, even if they're a little bit different in style, are kind of the same premise. So those are my 3. Thank you guys for watching today. Hopefully, I know I don't do it the exact way Monaco does, but hopefully you still like it nonetheless. And yeah, I'll be live in Small Cap Rockets Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. So if you guys are around, I go live at 9:30, right at the market open, for the first 30 to 45 minutes of the day. Come on and hop in. If you're part of DIT, you have access. So come on, trade live with me in the morning. And yeah. All right, everyone, take it easy. Have a good rest of your weekend. Study up a bit, and I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully I see you in Small Cap Rockets if I haven't seen you there before. Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for being a part of the StocksToTrade family. We just hit 100,000 subscribers, but our goal by the end of this year is to get 150,000 new family members a part of our channel. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button and maybe even turn on your post notifications. We cannot do this without your guys' support. So thank you so much. And if you want to see more of what we're doing, again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below. We'll see you in the next video.